curiosity, is the key to problem solving. Two truths cannot contradict one another. Nature is relentless and unchangeable, and it is indifferent as to whether its hidden reasons and actions are understandable to man or not. Philosophy is written in that great book which ever is before our eyes, I mean the universe. But we cannot understand it if we do not first learn the language and grasp the symbols in which it is written. And the earth, turning upon itself, moves round the sun. You cannot teach a man anything, you can only help him find it within himself. I have never met a man so ignorant that I couldn't learn something from him. All truths are easy to understand once they are discovered, the point is to discover them. I do not feel obliged to believe that the same God who has endowed us with sense, reason, and intellect has intended us to forego their use. He who does not know the truth is only a fool, but he who knows it, and calls it a lie is a criminal. Mathematics is the language in which God has written the universe. Who would set a limit to the mind of man? Who would dare assert that we know all there is to be known? Benevolence should be bronzed, and insults thrown to the wind. Measure what can be measured, and make measurable what cannot be measured. I know they call a donkey a horse when they want to sell it, and a horse a donkey when they want to buy. In questions of science, the authority of 1,000 is not worth the humble reasoning of a single individual. I love the stars too much to be afraid of the night. He who understands geometry is able to understand everything in this world. I value the discovery of a single truth, however insignificant, more highly than the pussyfooting around about the highest questions. By denying scientific principles, one may maintain any paradox. Doubt is the father of invention. The laws of nature, written by the hand of God, in the language of mathematics. In the future, there will be gateways and paths to great and good science that will penetrate my mind more deeply than mine, which will penetrate into deeper pits. To understand the universe, you must understand the language in which it was written, the language of mathematics. Some, just to contradict what I have said, do not hesitate to doubt the things they have seen with their own eyes again and again. Nonetheless, he moved. The greatest wisdom is knowing yourself. The sun, with all the planets that revolve around it and depend on it, can still ripen a bunch of grapes, as if nothing else could be done in the universe. Passion is the origin of genius. To me, the great incompetence is on the part of those who desire it, that God made the universe more proportional to the small capacities, their reasoning than His infinite power, His infinite power. There are people who reason well, but they are outnumbered by those who reason badly. Nothing happens against nature, except the impossible, and it never happens. I truly believe that a philosophy book is a book that is always open before our eyes, even though because it is written in a different character from our alphabet, It cannot be read by everyone. Where the senses fail us, reason must step in. They seem to forget that the increase of truth, which is known to stimulate the investigation, formation and growth of the arts, is not their reduction or destruction. Mathematics is the key and door to science. See now the power of truth. The same experiment which at first glance seems to show one thing, when examined more carefully, convinces us otherwise. The great book of nature, written in mathematics. The Milky Way is nothing but a collection of innumerable stars, planted together in clusters. Who dares to say that we know all there is to know? Look now, the power of truth. The universe is a huge book that cannot be read until one first learns to understand language and becomes familiar with the characters in which it is composed. It is written in the language of mathematics. Science progresses more with what it has learned to ignore than what it counts. The Bible is a book about going to heaven. This is not a book about how heaven goes. It is very dangerous for souls to make it heresy to believe what has been proven. With regard to matters requiring thought, the less people know and understand about them, the more positively they will try to argue about them. In science, the authority of 1,000 opinions is incomparable with one tiny spark of reason in an individual.